Hello, fellow humans. My name is Dorothy Laxton, and this is Fostering Untethered Communication and Knowledge, an adventure in stimulating objective, critical thought, shining the spotlight through individual spectacles, putting it once again on the bigger picture and our parts in it. Searching for life beyond the lifestyles we North American urban dwellers have to choose to chase, encouraging all to participate in positive change. Hello, fellow humans. It is Friday, February 3rd, 2023. This is some Friday food for thought, or it's going to be. I made a recording this morning listing things that I want to sort of deep dive in a little more in some of the series that I'm doing, particularly Stepping Out of the Garden. And I made a recording just trying to list, but some really good stuff got in there. So I am going to try and slap it together and get it to you before the day is over, like I do, because my sense of urgency, I'm here, I'm trying to foster untethered communication and knowledge. We really all have to start talking about what we actually think and feel, rather than just absorbing sound bites and reacting to them. Because there's a lot of logic being lost. There's a lot of logic that's been lost, and a lot of unnecessary confusion and suffering that's happening. Because we've forgotten what it means to be human. And to be human means to be fallible. So, like I said, I made this recording. It's probably going to be a little rough background from my fan in my window. Yes, my window is open all year round, even in this blisteringly cold weather, with a fan blowing out of it, because I like having my fresh air, and the rad heat in my apartment is just ridiculous. So there's a little more than you needed to know about me. That's me, way too much information. That is what WTMI stands for. Without further ado, I am going to thank you for listening to some thoughts that I had this morning. I hope you find the food for thought nourishing. Thoughts for videos. One, checking people in on what their wealth actually is. Wealth is, all of this wealth that we've created is bullshit. If you went to the bank today and tried to liquidate all of your financial assets, you might get a third of them. Maybe. And if all of us decided we wanted to liquidate ourselves and have the wealth that we supposedly own, well, you guys, I know mine is. I know that it's bullshit, so I don't have any of it, right? If everybody went and tried to cash in on their wealth today, you would see how poor we all actually are. And a lot of you are way poorer than I am, because a lot of your wealth is caught up in debt. Anyway, so you take a third of what your wealth is, and you put that up against your debt, and that will give you a better idea of what your actual financial position is, your actual material wealth. And even that is bullshit, because it's bullshit. Okay, that is the things that our culture has valued in a way for exchange. It's not value. This wealth that we've created, the stock market, that's all profits, okay? And profit is the difference between what you get for it and what you actually paid for it, right? So that there is, same thing with insurance. This is why Jesus got mad in the temple. Anyway, I didn't mean to be making this recording right now. I was supposed to be listing things because there were other things to talk about other than wealth. Do want to touch on Jesus's name, Yeshua, I think. I'm just still trying to figure that one out. It's kind of like the difference between calling somebody by their full name or a short form, or somebody calling you your name in another language, or somebody mispronouncing your name. It's irritating, but it doesn't matter. We all know who we're talking about, and he doesn't really care so much. It's, again, like the difference between calling somebody Joseph or Joey, or use you if you wanted to take Joey and put it in Polish. You know, that kind of irritation. It's not a sin to say Jesus instead of Yeshua. Which I think I've come to the conclusion after a lot of investigation that that's probably the closest thing I'm going to get to what he was actually called. Again, doesn't matter. I know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. We all know who we're talking about. And it's not really about him. It's about the way, which he was. You know, and the trick to salvation is not saying, Jesus saved me. He did it all for me. It's saying, Jesus, I'm going to follow your way. I'm going to be honest. I am going to not live beyond reasonable means. I'm not going to take advantage of people. Yeah, I'm going to love everyone, regardless of any of these external factors, whatever clothes you wear, what your job is, or whatever, you know, no matter how, it doesn't matter, we're all human. And we have to recognize that human means, you know, we don't exactly make the best decisions, which comes to the next thing that I wanted to talk about is I want to do is, you know, 10 commandments. And really, you know, why did we need a commandment to say thou shalt not kill? You know, most people think that's kind of a no-brainer, but it's not. See, humans rationalize things. Why did that first commandment have to be, you know, I am your God and no other gods you put before me? It's because human beings, left to their own devices individually, make stupid, short-sighted decisions. And instead of having one person trying to lead us all, it was better to bow to a concept, to the ideals, to the forms, and say, under no uncertain terms, when it comes down to it, a decision between what the law says, okay, what the greater good, what good orderly direction says, and my desire. When it's a decision between those two things, you go to good orderly direction. That's why it is there. And we've lost all direction. All direction. So those are 3 of the things that I've been mulling over, doing in-depth deep dives on, or as deep dive as I do. I like to connect the dots and allow people to do their each individual deep diving, because our depths are different. And then, you know, other people can go into their depths and find the truths that they find there, and then we can share them. That's the point. All of this divisiveness, all of this, you're right and I'm wrong. No, you can exist, but let me exist too. And respect the fact that there is an order of things. There is an order of things. Why did it have to be an omnipotent God? Because we are silly, selfish, short-sighted creatures that need good, orderly direction. And with that, this may end up being a post. Thanks for listening. Narrative bullshit. It's propaganda.